So here we are, gathered on the ground of sacred sovereignty. Own this space. We have set ourselves within the golden cocoon of the sixfold ultra field for protection, for guidance, for clear, solid connections, being filled with love and light, working on the field of our divine feminine, our Gaia and Sophia and Grace, being encircled by the divine masculine who is now ready to come forth in new ways. So we call in our teams. We are so appreciative of the help that they give us. All those who need to be here, either bringing information or asking requests, we invite them into the circle. We see all of those who are regularly and periodically here with us. We include them in our circle gathering today too. So we are here gathered to vision, to expand, to share, and to learn. And so it is. Just get a sense of what that feels like. If you sense anyone specifically that needs to come in with more of a specific action, bring them in. And then when you're ready, bring yourself back into this present moment here. So let's put ourselves in the circle with whoever and however many situations, individuals, life forms of any kind that are calling to be in a healing space of divine good. Bring them in also. So Sharon Raji here would be Island, and I'm bringing in 84 individuals, 3 personal situations, and the entire project of freedom, truth riders, and the energy and circle that we have created for world situations. And yes, I think the quality I want to activate within the circle is secured expansion. And I pass to Sue.
Sue at Lake Goodwin, Washington, bringing in 35 people. And I'm bringing in don't know how to word it because I'm just trying to come to a familiar place with it. The quantum field. I heard a scientist say it's time to think in terms of working with the quantum field. Too many people are stuck in the ancient text and ancient ones. We're moving beyond them. And it felt right. So I'm bringing in the new awareness of the quantum field for us to use. I like that. Because it's going to, it has to evolve because it's brand new. Heard about it, read about it, been told about it, but it never settled in as something that it never anchored in. And it feels like it's anchoring in now. And that makes it a viable something that can be used and understood and worked with. Worked with is a better word than used. Worked with. Okay, Audrey, you're on.
I am like to bring in 64 people, 7 personal situations, 2 furry 4-legged. Like to bring in everybody with long-term COVID. I have a friend who's experiencing it deeply and she's ready to take an exit point because of it. And she's young. So anyone with the long-term COVID, bringing in the quality of clear knowing on how to proceed with the things I'm working on, including land clearing, being called to clear land, but how it, I almost need to know the purpose for the land clearing, but I don't know why. I don't know why I need to know the purpose. I've been guided to clear the emotions from the land, but it almost feels like it's not enough. So just more clarity on what that looks like. And I'm complete.
So we have,
I'm bringing in a world, one world, power over, and one personal.
okay. So we're in our circle today, we're energizing from this circle, that healing space. I just call it the crystal temple in the Azure Mountains of Divine Good, Temple of Divine Good, which includes what we work on here. It includes the virtual circle of code love, including also our email circle of code love, and all those that we brought in today and place them in that field with the directive that their higher self, with their healing teams and their causal team, dissolve what keeps them from their divinity, opens doors to new possibilities, and is done in love according to each individual's need and higher self's desire. And we've activated within the circle today secured expansions, the quantum field, and greater clarity. And so here we are. Thank you very much. So let's go around if there's anything that you don't want to talk about and put in the circle that's on your heart or mind, because I'm going to lead a journey. It'll be a guided journey, and as always, you might go off into different places. But it occurs to me through various conversations I have had that through the eons of time, there have been parts of ourselves, gifts within ourselves, that we have hidden or that have been hidden from us. And here we are saying, you know, we want greater, we're here to be greater, we're the change maker, you know, we've reached a certain level of consciousness, awareness, commitment, etc. So I think it's a good time to journey and say, who knows of any of those aspects of myself or spiritual gifts that are mine, that either I've hidden or I've had hidden from me, because I'm ready to reclaim them. So that's basically my intention for the journey. But before we do that, let's just open the floor. Is there anything, you know, that you want to say, announcements you want to make, or insights you've had?
Yes. Because I don't think we're reclaiming something as much as we are moving forward beyond all that has come from the past. Unless we're reclaiming what was originally in our DNA as magnificent spiritual beings before we got here. But we don't even want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that, because I came to Earth for a reason, and that specific reason is learning how to use all my 5 senses in a spiritual way. I know how to use all my 5 senses in a physical way. And I understand greed, even the kind of greed that I just want for myself without harming you. Not what I'm here for. But I did tell my higher self, you're going to have to do a better job. You are not providing enough for me. This is too hard. You've got to make it easier. I'm willing to do the work, but I'm done with struggle. So, Spirit's in charge. I'm willing to keep going. I'm not willing to struggle for it. So, where was I going with that? What you said, I believe we are going into absolutely new territory, and that's why we're here. It goes beyond everything we know. It goes beyond everything we understand. It's solution-based, it's spirit-based, and it's in the higher consciousness that we are striving for.
Striving, Sue, you might want to change that word.
Well,
Striving.
I mean, I don't, until it comes easier, that's pretty much what I'm doing, is striving for it.
About committed. Because striving has a lot of work.
Well, it is a lot of work, Sharon. I have to clear so much fucking shit.
I hear you.
Okay, I've got a new meditation technique, and I'm working on expanding it. And what's coming to me is everything is bubbling up. However, so I'm seeking it, but what I'm finding is that I allow it in, a pain. I allow this pain in, and it can be as intense as it wants. And I allow it to be whatever it is, and it's dissipating. A thought comes in, and it's like, yep, that's my norm. Think the worst. Catastrophe, trauma, drama. It's just a thought. And it goes away. It dissipates. It's dissipating. Stuff's coming up and dissipating. So I'm moving past seeking. I'm moving past struggle. So what was your word again? What did you suggest?
Struggle and striving is kind of one and the same to me. That's why I said, do you really want to use the word striving? Because striving and struggle kind of the same, isn't it? I mean, it's similar. I don't know. That's just, it's your word, what you want to use.
I am trying to move beyond the old. I am trying to move beyond the old. Okay, so moving beyond the old also means a new language. So committed. Okay, I'm committed and I'm open. But I believe we're not going back anymore.
No, we're not going back. So, I totally agree with you. And what I'm saying is this: we are divine beings from a divine star family. And that divine star family has the nature of all good. That's our nature, all good. And we each in our family group chose a specific range within that, which is a huge range. The total range of joy, or the total range of peace, or whatever we wanted. That's what we are being restored to. It's never been on this planet. It has never been on this planet. It hasn't been experienced from probably the third world onward. So we're not going back to anything that we normally would associate to going back. When I say we're restored to our soul family, I mean divine family. The nature of our divine family, how do we manifest it in today's world? So we're saying kind of the same thing.
We are. Yeah.
And for me, the ancient ones, that's who they're connected to. That's who your higher self is connected to.
Right.
See?
Okay, but I'm going to disagree.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just a word. I'm only disagreeing with the word. I do not want to be restored to anything. I want to move into whatever we came here to learn, which is something we don't know. That's why we're here to learn it. It's taking something we had and adding and expanding on it. To me, that's what we're here for. So whether it's joy or anything else, we're here to learn a whole new dimension of understanding of it that we didn't have we didn't have it in the unseen world. We didn't have it or we wouldn't be here.
Well, we're here because we needed to have a way to make energy visible to get the outsiders identified.
Now I'm going, I'm still,
And when that's gone,
I don't want to be restored. I'm going forward to a whole new understanding.
it's okay to not be restored. But the thing of it is, we came here, physical to, we didn't even choose physical as divine families. That wasn't even what we wanted, really. We really were just energy, right? I mean, those are just energy worlds. So the reason, and again, I'm just telling you what I've been told. You don't have to, I'm not debating. So, so we needed a way to identify those very, very slippery, deceptive vibrations of outsiders. So we needed a way to get rid of them because we hadn't been able to fully experience our original choice and then to end the choice. We were locked in. So we made ourselves, we created a plan for physical so we could first identify outsiders. That was the purpose, getting rid of outsiders. Now we're on a physical planet in which we can, I think we're here to learn, we're here to remember that we are connected to a divine agenda to experience good, to remember that we have the skills, to remember that all is possible. And now with the outsiders out of our way, what do we want to do with the energies of our divine capacity with our family as a family member? What do we want to then bring through law of manifestation? What do we want to bring into the physical that we hadn't even considered?
Same thing. That's what I'm saying. Yep. Same thing.
Yeah. So it's like we hadn't even known. I mean, physical wasn't a possibility, is now. And so I don't like the word learn. I'll just tell you right up front. I don't like the word that we're here to learn. No, we're not here to learn. We're here to remember why we came. We're here to get rid of the outsiders, to remember that we have the capacity, and then to decide what we want to do with the capacity. But we're saying basically the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And we usually do. You usually come to it, I come to it, and and your words are perfect for you. And I like to talk about what they are. So because there's expansion, I think, and going like, yeah, I hear you, Sue, and then you hear me, and it's like, yeah, we're in agreement. Just
We're in
different.
agreement.
Audrey, that was our conversation. I know you've got things to say.
Oh, I love it. I'm there with both of you. And it's something that's been coming up. I've been reading a lot. I've listened to the interview with the devil.
Oh yeah. I haven't I didn't know there was an interview. I definitely know about the book with the conversation, or
What was the book? So I did the audio.
Oh, okay.
The audio of it.
Yeah.
And it just made so much sense to me on so many different levels about the mind being controlled and emotions. And then I've been listening to a lot of Neville Goddard, tons of Neville Goddard, and about prayer and imagination, and when you put your thoughts into, like, everything that you've been teaching, you put it into a reality shift statement, you put the emotion behind it, you see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens. And it just I'm reaching those ahas. I've been waking up instead of in deep sadness or whatever, situations. I've been actually waking up with songs like of thanks, which means that I'm moving from the past into the present, into the future. Because I would get so down in the morning. Oh, why am I thinking about this? I don't even want this in my field. And then I listened to something from Joe Disperenza, and he's like, well, if you're waking up like that, that means that you're still living in the past. So just that awareness shifted things for me. And how much living in the past and, you know, so I'm living in the present and pulling up the future into my present. That's what I've been really looking at. And then, of course, my connection on who Jesus is to me. I've been really, really deep diving into that, and God, deep into that, like where it all fits into my belief systems and who I am. So I've been taking some really pretty deep dives, honestly. So that's where I'm at, and just getting more clarity and piece by piece and by piece. It's been good.
You know, what I've seen just in the last couple of months, I mean, things are moving quite rapidly, but I'm talking, if I just focus on our circle, on this Monday circle, not the other circles, all of them fit together, but I'll just speak to Monday right now. And so in this Monday circle, you know, we started, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, going back to intentionally, not every circle, but a major part of them, going back to an original village on the planet. This was planet stuff. Where was that original mother, grandmother held that did the good work for the community, anchoring with them, bringing in the Sophia and the divine feminine, anointing them so they didn't get disconnected from their authority voice, and literally walking those grandmothers forward through different timelines. And we did it for ourselves. We did it for Persian culture. We did it for the indigenous culture. We did it about 5 of them, all about maternal ancestry, a maternal ancestry, bringing that they're the ones who have the solution. Get those men out of the way. No, we won't let them be there, you know? So we did that so that last week, when Cinda did her maternal line, it was like a perfect next step in what we were doing, right? And then we have the Freedom Truth Writer group that has come out of about 3 weeks ago. It's right in alignment with it, saying we own it, we own it. We're the mothers, we're the grandmothers. We don't say it that way. We're the females, and we have the right doing powerful work. And so what happened like 10 days ago, all of a sudden, a friend of mine says, it's time to call a grandmother circle. We've been saying that for years, and I've been putting things out. Oh yeah, okay. But women weren't coming together. They just weren't coming together. So I said to her, this is what it would look like to me. It would look like wisdom keepers coming together on a Zoom call, in which we're not there to create a symposium and a lecture or a summit. No, we're there just to feed the field. Every woman seeding the field, the quantum field. So I'm calling it the mycelium. We are the mycelium, and you're calling it the quantum field, but kind of the same thing. Where all the wisdom keepers come together, or whatever and this is who I am, this is what I do, this is my project in the world, this is what I love, period. Get off, next. We seed the field, period. So we begin that space, right? And she said, oh, I'd be aligned to that, because I said, I'm not doing summit, I'm not doing interviews, I'm not going to do lectures. That's not what it's about. It's about feeding and creating the field and then energizing it for the purpose of female change makers and leaders. Within 2 days, this voice said, this is what we need to do. This voice said, this is what we need to do. This voice said what? So I'm on TikTok, and I'm not a major creator, but I'm on TikTok. So I just did a little bit TikTok. I think it was on Saturday, that says, time for grandmothers to come together and be the leaders and step up and determine what we want for our families. It was like it was a minute long, I think. Overnight, had 4,000 views. So they said, I'm in. So I did the next one and said, okay, I hear that there's enough of you in. Okay, watch for the announcement. And then I had another, I can't even keep up with the comments because there's too much, too much. And so now we have a grandmother coming together gathering happening on February 11th. Three circles during the day. So people can come at any time. It'll be repeated on March 18th. 3 circles coming anytime, meeting quarterly, trusting that the field that we're creating will cause things to emerge. We're not going to say, I need to be with you, I need to do this way. No, knowing that when we seed the field and hold the field will begin to speak to us as women in a new way, because we know how to take action. So anyway, you know, the things that are happening are they're happening, I was going to say, because of what you all are doing. You know, all these pieces, known and unknown, because of what you are doing individually as well as in group. You see, so you guys will get an invite to that grandmother thing tomorrow. I sent out the one for pathological relationships today. I didn't want to do 2 in one day. So we've got to find out what is missing. Is there something missing that I need brought back to my soul, like a soul integration to keep moving the direction I've determined to move? So that's why I thought it would be good to do today. What do you think? You up for it?
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds like that's exactly where we are.
Yes.
We are. And of course, if your team takes a different direction, you'll get what you needed to get for today. So I have no qualms about that. Okay. Thanks for the conversation and added clarity. We called for clarity, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So take a deep breath and then just get yourself feeling really comfortable and secure right there in your home, knowing that you are within the 6-fold cocoon. You have your team there, secure channels to the divine. And it extends in your home, in your land, around your families. Take a breath and feel those around you. And we are here to gather back to ourselves any gifts, awarenesses, parts of our soul that we have either hidden or has been hidden from us. We are calling it back. And in that process, we have healing teams, we have design teams, and if you need an additional team to assure those lost or hidden parts of yourself that it's safe, just get a sense and call that type of team in for you and for them. So setting our intention, I'll speak the prompts and give space for any answers that are there for you. You want to write as we go, whatever works for you. So we ask any aspect of ourselves that knows about skills, spiritual gifts, parts of ourselves that have been either hidden by ourselves or hidden away by others. Who knows about any of those aspects? We invite them into our space and ask them to say gently to us, I am here. And do you have a name that you would like me to call you? Where do you reside in my body? And could you tell me the job you have to do in my life? And does this job require that you hide or keep my spiritual gifts, spiritual awareness, or parts of myself away from me? Does your job require that you keep parts of myself away from me? Could you give me a sense of what those parts or gifts might be? If you were going to list them for me, you probably have a catalog. Give me a few of them that are there. How long ago did you have them hidden? When were they first hidden? And what could I do if I had access, total access to them? What would you see that I could do? And I'm going to ask you this question 3 times because it's protocol, not because I don't trust you. Are you of my light? Are you of my light? Are you of my light? Now, for those who have gathered up our gifts in our soul selves, pieces of us, because they are not of the light, but they were given that job, bringing the PTO, Galactic Collective Council, the Aniakea Mother, freeze frame the entire network of where my gifts, your gifts are held, and bring in those from the cosmic composting system and the tag healing group to identify those modules, like bringing in the software programs that you're going to maintain. There you're bringing them back under your control. So gather them up, the tag team, gather the gifts, the skills, the tools into the hands of your light team. These are yours, you own them. Take a breath. And if this aspect is not of the light, just explain, taking away your gifts is not allowed. Hiding your gifts is not allowed. The PTO is going to take all this network, entire energy of the network, gather it up, neutralize it. Nothing is to remain. Your gifts are totally safe in light, preserved well. The PTO are going to hold this gathered up energy, and if it is not of the light, ask to see and speak to the creator group in the first world of the dominators who designed and put in place this program. And let someone from that collective say, I am here. And ask how many family collectives are involved with this type of activity. You just get a number of the collective families of domination. How many? See, they're with you. Sophia Collective is with you. The ancestral grandmother line from Earth is with you. But you stand as you declare it's not allowed. And there is Laniakea Mother, there's Galactic Collective Councils, there is the PTO, and they stand with you. This is not allowed. An entire configuration, the network entirety, gathered up from any space, any time, any region, reality, pulling it back into the original group, and that group taken back to its original home to be worked with there. That's not ours to do. Not allowed here. Breathe and get a sense of Sophia Collective with Grace and Gaia and the grandmothers. The grandmothers are going to weave back in those parts of yourself, your maternal line, making a total new quilt, having a quilting bee. And in whatever way you choose in your imagination, remember the list you were given, this and better, this and more. Take a few moments to claim them. Anchor their energies. Let the golden song include their harmonics. Whatever way you feel to complete. And when you are ready, you can bring yourself back to awareness to the present moment. Are you ready to share?
I was reminded of the things that happened through me probably 30 years ago. I had no control over anything. One was a man who stood in front of me. I was a bank teller. He stood in front of me and I saw his deepest, darkest secret. He knew I knew. He came to the bank 2 more times and he kept getting me. He disappeared 6 months and came back a healthy man. He was good looking. He was healthy. He was intelligent. If I was in my human part, I would have cried for the change that happened. But I was a channel and I was an observer. And that happened again. I shook hands with a man that I was hired out as a nanny for hotels downtown Seattle. I shook hands and I knew, and he knew I knew. He was ruthless to the point of he'd kill anybody who got in his way, including a wife and child. And he knew I knew, and I don't know what happened. And the third man, I saw him across the field. He looked up, I looked up. I knew he was ruthless, and I knew he would kill anybody who got in his way. That's how bad greed is. Instantly, he would kill them, never give it a thought. He'd wipe out a whole family, his family. It wouldn't matter. His sister lived in the house, and within 2 weeks, they were all gone. They left. So those are the ones I remembered. There was another one, and I think there was some others. I was never in control of anything. I was neutral. I was an observer, and everything happened through me. And I've been told that's my work. I'm a channel. But I have to grow into it. That's all I know. I have to grow into it. So since this is the second time that I've been reminded of what happened through me, I did get to co-create one time. I was walking through work. I was told there was a Category 5 coming to Cancun, and a Category 5 would leave nothing standing. And as I was walking through work, I wondered, I was neutral again, I wondered if a Category 5 could be reduced to a tropical storm. Got back to my desk and went on with work. And the next day I checked the news. Anybody hear what happened to Cancun? They said, yeah, it somehow reduced down to a tropical storm. And so there's been, I don't know how it's going to work, because I get told in the moment, or something comes through me in the moment, and it makes a difference. It makes an amazing change, but it's not me. It's my higher self, but it's not me. So I'm looking forward, and I know I'm moving, and I'm moving into a community. And that's all I know. Don't know when, don't know how. I'm just keep allowing. I keep allowing and keep expanding. That's all I know. I'm complete.
I have to say that when I was facing the outsider energy, my heart was vibrating, and it even know how to, it wasn't anger. I don't even know what it was discussed. I don't know what it was, but my heart was vibrating like, how dare you? How dare you? It was just an interesting feeling. But there were hundreds of them sent to confuse, dismantle, and segregate those of the light. They moved through looking for those illuminated ones. Yeah, I'm still on that feeling. It was like, I don't let myself become angry, like out of like, but I felt it in my heart. So something really moved within me, deep within me. And it's funny because they said, um, my voice, they blocked my voice in the codes because I'm supposed to awaken and anchor in the codes of Gaia, but help people remember with my voice and with my eyes, clear vision, but also laser vision to literally, with my laser focus, send the outsiders gone immediately. Hearing, clear hearing of the truth and clear discernment of which is not true, tones and codes to be anchored in. Yeah, and I just keep on thinking about the land that I used to live on, where it's Native American sacred site and burial, and the very, very rich and powerful man owns the land. And I keep on thinking he doesn't like me. One time when the house was being built, I was able to go up, and at some point they said, absolutely not. And I thought, they don't like the truth. It's about the truth, and I don't know, there's just something in there with the power and the the greed and the light. I don't take offense to it. They said I'm crazy. I'm like, good. I'm glad. That means I'm onto something right. So that's just what comes. And I'm being called to go up to the land and sit on the land again up there. And I can, because he's away for 2 weeks. So I will go up and sit on the land and do whatever work is necessary there. I've heard the Bigfoot yelling on the land there. So there's a deeper connection coming somewhere, some which way. So yeah, I'm rambling and I'm complete.
It's great. When I was first aware the outsiders were actual beings, because I knew about entrapment, I didn't know. So this would have been in mid 90s, and I was flying in Utah from Washington State to Utah, and I said, what should I do if they confront me? And they said, just look in their eyes. Eyes are really big. And I said, okay, seems simple to me. So one of the women that came to me, as soon as she walked in the door, I just kept hearing attack, 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 attack. And not attack. I heard like, it was like they owned her. I can't remember the word exactly. And she said to me, I feel like they're moving in and out of my body all the time. And it was like she was in an apartment house, really. It was really weird, little lady. And as soon as I got her on the table and got the space set and I'm starting to do the work, here's this tall being that shows up on the side of the table and basically said, we don't want you here. We don't want you here. We want you gone. And I just looked in his eyes and I didn't say anything. I didn't have a feeling like you, but I looked in his eyes. Just looked in his eyes like, the neutral, yeah, neutral's great. And he just disappeared. He just dissipated. That was before I knew much more, but yeah, sounds good. So what I got was, I would ask her name. It was really funny. I asked her name and they said the name Salt Shaker. Salt Shaker. Oh gosh. Anyway, and it was about, whatever the gifts were and where they were hidden. Of course, it was not of the light. And so they listed some of them, right? So I did all the work that you guys did too. And but what I found really powerful for me, and like Sue mentioned some that's powerful, and you have too. And what I've been trying on is this association with Tesla's 369, numbers 369, which is they're using it as a magic way to manifest, which isn't true, because 369 is so beyond but nevertheless, it gave me a model. So I created a reality statement that my blank, blank, blank inspires blank, 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 what it's for. So I just made a reality shift from it. And then I just wrote it 3 times. And then a little while later today, I'll write it another 6 times. And then before I go to bed, I'll write it 9 times. So it's like claiming that they're yours. That's what I felt it was important that you hear about them. You don't know too much, maybe how they would be used yet by you. But I think it's important to say they're mine and they're active in my life. And they bring a change of good, whatever. Here's my gifts, they're mine, and they're bringing this kind of outcome. So thank you. Thank you for showing up. We'll see where this leads. Anything that comes to mind? I'll see Sue moving.
Yep, because while you were talking, you're working with women who have been traumatized and they're stuck in their trauma. And I have worked with women who are traumatized and they're stuck in their trauma. I don't remember what the professional name title he had, but he said, a woman who has been abused and is living in abuse will take 10 years of therapy before she realizes she's in abuse. And I thought, oh my God, this is a bottomless pit with all the traumatized women, not even counting the men. So what I got while you were talking is that the brain waves. And so it takes 10 years for a brain connection. So she can see she's victimized and traumatized. And part of quantum healing is changing the time it takes for the brain connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a new idea to me.
That's what Deeper Roots is totally built upon. We have the tag facilitators are doing the deep work that those in trauma don't have to go back and dig it up. All of that is done specifically for them in their behalf, long distance. They're given a statement to anchor the work, and then their job is to anchor the work, reality statements, and brain balances. Every time we meet, every Saturday morning when we met for 3 months, we would here's statements about community, here's statements about yourself, reality shift it, and brain balance it. It's totally part of what the deep roots are, and also the pathological relationship project is built on the deeper healing, and then the rewiring of the brain. Absolutely. Right, Audrey?
Yes. Yes. Powerful work. Powerful, powerful work. I can attest to it. It's been life-changing.
Yeah, and we're just, it's the tip of the iceberg. And I think what's going to happen, like everything else we've seen, it's going to be like a snowball rolling down the hill. I have a friend, Sandra L. Brown. She is absolutely probably the major leader and identifier of dangerous men, domestic violence. She's been in the field for over 30 years and was the first one to start identifying this stuff. And because she's a conventional counselor, but she doesn't do energy work. She knows about tapping. She encourages people to get involved with tapping, but she doesn't know energy work yet. We're getting there. And she tells her people, don't expect that you're going to change even in 10 years. It's like it's a part of that, like a disease of alcoholism. Alcoholism is a disease if you don't have the depths and the tools to make it different. And it's kind of like in the same realm. It needs the deep, deep healing. And then it needs major, major brain balance work. as well as whatever, like mind control, how has it impacted the physical? We don't know that yet. We don't, because we're working with, I'm working with women who want to change.
Mhm.
But if they are locked into patterns, I'm not sure. We're exploring how quickly we can do that. And can we, I know we can collapse time. There's no doubt about that. What that means, how damaged a pathological partner it might be, I don't know. We're trying, Vaughn. You're right, Sue.
I have a question. It's in the same ballpark
Yeah.
about when you said about mind control.
Mhm.
What if you know a pathological person who knows how to remote view and read minds?
Mhm. Well,
That is like, that is a totally different type of energy and skill set to protect not even to protect yourself, but be aware of.
yeah, we're really aware of that. And one of the things we're looking at, how do we do that in what we're calling it deeper relationships, really. But those that are pathological, how do we so armor them away? How do we so disconnect them away so that they truly are out of the energy influence in any way? And for some it will be easy. For some it's going to be very difficult. We're going to keep working till we know and can do it. But I'm totally aware. You're right, Audrey, that those who are, it's like using it for black magic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're doing black magic, yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like there's a magnetics to it too, Sharon.
It is, it's a very sticky magnetics, and it's all part of what we will discover as we start working with it in larger numbers than just one or two that I've been working with. Yeah, it's all, yeah, we have an awareness, we have some tools, but I'm sure we don't have it all, but we will get more. It's like our freedom truth riders. We're learning more as we go along about, because we're committed to an end result. Yeah. It'd be interesting walking the next little while. Okay, loves,
Thank you.
Thank you.
being together. Love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Appreciate it.
Same here. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.